This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
70,000 people are here, and Bob Dylan is the reason for it.
Inspired by the true story.
If anyone is going to hold your attention on stage, you have to kind of be a freak.
Are you a freak?
Hope so.
And starring Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. He defied everyone.
Turn it down!
Play loud!
To change everything.
Make some noise, BD.
Timothy Chalamet, Edward Norton, Elle Fanning, Monica Barbaro. A complete unknown. Only in theaters Christmas Day. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. Should I pay off debt or invest? By Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. Today's question comes from Colleen. She asks, quote, I am 22 and I recently started my first job out of college as a nurse. The place I work at is a nonprofit and they offer a 403B, not a 401k. So I decided not to put money in that account since after a year, they will put in 7% automatically. And instead to open a Roth IRA at Vanguard. I have decided to invest in an S&P 500 index fund, and I'd ideally like to put the max in every year. But I have not opened the account yet, and I'm worried about having to put a large sum of money in right away as my savings doesn't really look like much right now. I'm wondering if you know whether I can put small amounts in at regular intervals, or if they require me to put in more money all at once. I'd like to avoid putting off starting my retirement fund because I basically don't want to have to deal with it, and it'd be easier for me if it felt like I didn't have the money in my account in the first place. Also, I have about $9,000 remaining in student loans. Another idea I had was paying this off first with money equal to the amount I would be putting into my Roth IRA until it's paid off, at which point I would open the IRA. Let me know what you think. I'm really not very good with this kind of stuff, and most of the time, I don't know what I'm doing. Your site has been helpful so far, and I'm hoping to gain some financial stability at a young age so I can thank myself later. End quote. If you're 22 and setting up your retirement account, you're already doing better with money than 99% of people. How do I know this? I get at least a dozen emails a week from people in their 50s asking me if it's too late for them to start saving for retirement. These are the most honest, frustrating, and heartbreaking emails all at the same time. The most heartbreaking part is these people spent their life working insanely hard, yet they're realizing the idea of retiring on time is just a dream. And they all tell me the same thing. I wish I would have started in my 20s. It's an important lesson because you're in your 20s and have a unique opportunity to do better. Most people your age think about getting started, but retirement is decades away, so it's easy to put off. You tell yourself you'll get around to it someday. Plus, you have student loans to pay off. And then in your 30s, you're buying a house and raising kids. And then in your 40s, you're putting those kids through college. And then you find yourself in your 50s, sending me an email asking if it's too late to get started and wishing you had a time machine. The data coming in backs this up. The average family has about $104,000 saved for retirement. At a 4.5% withdrawal rate, that provides $4,680 a year. Okay, but what about Social Security? The average Social Security check is $1,360. And when you're living on $16,000 a year, that's pretty close to the $12,000 poverty line. That might be okay if you live a simple life, but if you want to spend your retirement doing all the things you want to do, that's not enough. Anyways, there's the question about whether it's better to pay off your student loans or invest. And here's the answer. It's always the better financial decision to do the one with the higher number. You have $9,000 in student loans, and you don't say, but let's pretend the interest rate is 4%. If you're investing in the stock market historically returns about 7%. Some years it's more, some less, and some negative, but over the decades, that's what it smooths out to. Now that you know these numbers, you're deciding between paying off your debt at 4% or investing at 7%. And it's easy to see the better financial decision is to invest. But not every decision in life is a financial decision. Think about how you'd feel not having debt. And if you'd feel better not having debt, then pay it off. Here's an example from my own life. The interest rate on my mortgage is 3.125%. And while I could write a check to pay it off, I'd rather have the money invested. But I sleep okay not having a paid off house. Makes sense? My recommendation for you is putting money in savings though. You're telling me you're worried about having money invested when you don't have much in savings. You should never feel worried about money you invest. And when someone tells me they're worried about their investments, I know right away that they have too much invested. To be successful at investing, you have to invest within your comfort zone. Because when you're investing within your comfort zone, you're less likely to make bad decisions, like pulling your money out at the worst possible time. You weren't investing in 2008 when the market went down 37%. If you were a new investor worried about losing money, you'd probably pull your money out and never invest again. And that would be really unfortunate. If you focus on building up your savings, you're going to feel more secure. And when you feel more secure, you can start diverting money to investing. And the easiest way to do that is with your 403(b). Your 403(b) probably has low-cost index funds like what you're looking for. And then the money is coming directly out of your paycheck, so you never have it. And if you never have it, you won't worry about it. And decades from now, you'll look back and thank your younger self for starting in your 20s. You just listened to the post titled, Should I Pay Off Debt or Invest? By Chris Reining of chrisreining.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, what the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass f- So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
I wholeheartedly agree with Chris's first statement. If you are a young person taking any steps towards investing in a retirement vehicle like a Roth IRA or 401k, you are so far ahead of the game, it's not even funny. Even if you're investing a super small amount regularly, you are well on your way to financial freedom. I also agree that having a good pile of savings on hand makes investing so much easier. I like to think of the money I invest like a tax I'm paying to my future self. When I invest in low-cost index funds, I see that money as gone because I don't plan to touch it for a very long time. Since I have a fully funded emergency fund, I can invest with confidence. I know that money can be put to work and left alone to grow through the power of compound interest because I have other money in my savings account set aside with a different job. And that job is liquidity and accessibility. I've noticed that often this question to invest or pay off debt is usually posed as this either or choice. But you could choose to do both. Pay a little more towards low interest debt while investing the rest. Or split your monthly surplus between your savings account and 401k contributions. Investing, saving, and paying off debt are all really great ways to deploy your hard-earned dollars. And there really isn't a wrong choice here. There may be more optimal ways to get to your financial goals faster. But if figuring out the most optimal way leaves you paralyzed in making a choice, then it's really not serving you. I would encourage us all to make the best decisions with the information we have now, knowing that we will continue to improve our financial strategies as we learn more. And that will do it for today. Have a great day. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.